Yes, there are spoilers in the review, and yes, you've probably already seen it. So, okay, this is going to be a review of a movie called Oblivion by Joseph Kosinski, the guy who gave us Tron Legacy. The movie borrows liberally from 2001, Robotech, Macross in a way, Mass Effect, even a little bit of Halo. It borrows vehicles and things from that. It borrows a lot from Moon, if you've seen that movie. And they conveniently in this movie imply that the aliens have blown up the moon, so that can't happen there. It's like, yeah, you just wanted to get rid of it so that they couldn't connect the two. If you've seen the movie Moon, you know that at the end of the movie, we get the premise that our protagonist is a clone. Knowing that going in, and also knowing Macross, Robotech, and some of these other movies that have used that premise. Going in, this is going to have spoilers because you've probably seen it. The Jack Harper character, played by Tom Cruise, behaves in a superhuman and ridiculous way. As the story opens, he is part of a drone repair crew on a planet that is apparently Earth that has been devastated 70 years earlier in a alien invasion, a la Independence Day. The Tet is this giant space base that's in orbit, and he is instructed to repair the drones the base has sent down. And his assistant is a character named Victoria, who is very distant, but at one point he shags her in a floating pool. So I guess not that distant. Also, there is it is an odd movie, but yes, going in, I knew there was something odd and off about the whole deal, just because I'd seen lots of science fiction movies with a similar theme. I had not seen Mass Effect, but I had since seen what the game shows, some vehicles and characters that say this movie is ripping off blatantly. But yeah, it's also ripping off Macross. It's also ripping off Macross, and a number of other things. The Macross movie is ripping off Macross Plus. It's ripping off all those, if the video game a little bit. It's ripping off the many things, and it's not shy about it. The science doesn't make sense, but it's science fiction. But it's science bullshit because it's fantasy. Because New York, he goes into New York, and apparently it is covered in miles of dirt from somewhere. Can't be from the destroyed moon. That doesn't make sense. Where did all this dirt come from? He couldn't get to the top. The Empire State Building, the top level of it, is on ground level in this thing, and there's this stuff everywhere, and the bridge is above the level. Like they've taken out the water. The alien thing has taken the water, but then the ground would be dry and there wouldn't be sediment on it. So that doesn't make sense. Nor does it make sense that Tom Cruise is apparently a superhuman acrobat, and his assistant, both of them, are able to survive in the cloud deck of the Earth, up above the cloud deck, 10,000 feet above, and they can breathe. And they can just survive up there. Right away, any science fiction person's going to think they got to be robots of some kind, because there's no way they could survive up there. They've got to be some sort of weird robots. That sets up the whole premise, of course. The character of Cruise's character finds the Scavs, who are these allegedly the aliens. Now, you know from the preview that Morgan Freeman is in it, and that he plays some kind of a resistance guy down there on the planet, right out of the video games that this movie is ripping off. And Robotech, the new generation, and the bike looks a little like it, and the Robotech Masters with their Zentradi clone army and so forth. Yeah, so there's a lot. And the 2001 stuff is, of course, the Discovery, the spaceship that's in it, as well as the alien HAL-like computer thing, which is also from Macross, and Megazone 2-3, and lots of other things. But the Tom Cruise character comes to realize, after being captured by the alleged scavengers, that there is something amiss with his life, his perfect life as a drone repairman, and that he must figure that out. Then a spaceship crashes and deposits a pod of a lady who, among the other pods, is threatened by the attacking drone that comes out. And this drone blows up all the other pods, shoots them, and except hers. He manages to rescue hers and shut the drone off. He brings the lady back to the office thing where him and his partner are. And the partner lady really doesn't like this idea because it would reveal his real memories about seeing the lady, about being with her before when he was apparently in a previous life as a space astronaut aboard that Discovery ship that just crashed. So all this is all interconnected and stuff. She's apparently been frozen for 60 years, and she's apparently his wife. The other lady is a cover. Oh, but what is he? The Freeman character seems to indicate that he is one of many soldier drones that were sent down from an alien spaceship, put two and two together at the TED, that destroyed the Earth population, and now are just preparing what's ever left over. So they can prepare to leave to go to Titan or do whatever the TED has programmed them to do. Yes, there are spoilers in the review, and yes, you've probably already seen it. So all this is kind of muddled nonsense, but yes, they have to go out and Freeman and Cruz eventually come to an understanding. Cruz eventually, his character of Harper, comes across another version of himself. The wife lady gets injured. The other one gets killed by a drone at one point. Drones in this. The wife lady is somehow pregnant at the end and has a kid 3 years later. We don't know how that happened because he never had sex with her in the movie. But I don't know when he had time to. Then the other clone who he fights in the movie shows up at the cabin at the end and decides to live with him. Now, since he's drone repairman number 49 and the other guy's 52, and since he has a heroic sacrifice at the hands of the giant HAL computer TET thing, that somehow this other one wouldn't be there with 47 or 8 of his other selves. They imply that he's one of 52 other ones. That there would be all of these other Tom Cruise drones, and they didn't really go for that. Strange movie. Let's go. The guy that did Tron. Derivative of they claim that there's a graphic novel that goes with this, but I'm thinking he didn't publish it because Mass Effect people would have sued him. Maybe the Robotech people too. And the TET computer thing is very derivative of lots of stuff. And how they defeat it is kind of derivative of Independence Day and a number of other things. Aliens, a little bit too. They did the same kind of thing. Because they blew that. They got to nuke it, yeah. Which begs the question, wouldn't the alien, if it had all his memories, wouldn't it know he was coming to nuke it? Wouldn't it also know what was going on if it had programmed him? Is it like a clone robot or something? Wouldn't the alien ship not only know what was going on, like everything, like the Matrix or something? You know, it would know everything. But apparently it didn't. Didn't see that coming at all. And of course there's an F-bomb at the end. Tells the computer to, fuck itself. But other than that, not that great a movie. A popcorn flick, I guess, if you're bored and want to watch something on DVD. That's kind of long-winded in the beginning. Oh yeah, and also it rips liberally for about 50 minutes of the movie. It's Wall-E, basically, with a drone guy. So for a long time, it's like it's trying to be a cerebral, thoughtful movie, but it isn't really. It's just borrowing other ideas and saying, "Oh, I'm a thoughtful movie. Yes, look at me." And it's like, no, it's not. It's just stealing other ideas. It's not that great. It's sort of like that, Total Recall remake was trying to be like a novice action picture. This one was trying to have a message too, or like how Star Trek Into Darkness was trying to have a sort of a pseudo message of like stuff that terrorism in the world and stuff like that. But in this one, it's flipped on its side. And, ooh, isn't it surprising? It wasn't surprising though. The audience was like Like, okay, this guy is doing superhuman stuff in the beginning. He must be a robot. No, wait. You're really not who you are, Jack. Later on with, what's his name? Morgan Freeman. It's like, no, everybody knows. So when they reveal, ooh, there's another Jack over there, it's like the audience just kind of moaned and sighed. They didn't say, oh, how surprising. They said, huh? What? What's it? And then the ending is like, what? So, like, how does that work? Are there more of him? And where's the other? There was like, if there's another station and another drone and another guy and another Victoria and the other guy, the other partner in the other base, there's probably 50 more. So wouldn't all of the other ladies show up? You would think that if that computer alien intelligence was smart, she would have blown the Discovery to bits and cloned everybody. The spaceship, you know. And then they wouldn't have been anybody to like figure all that out 50 years later. Or maybe it's all part of the clone illusion. Yeah, they'll wake up in the sequel and go, I'm still a robot clone. It's like, no, I hope not, because that would just be... And there's also a video game called Oblivion, which has nothing to do with this. Yeah, so there's my spoiler-heavy review of Oblivion.